I would like to plug the thing tomorrow night off the top while I remember to do so, because I know I'll forget by the end. I'll just be in a fog. And it's going to be Phil Hall, myself, nobody else really, right? Just the two of us looking at each other, wondering what we're doing here, and launching two teeny little books that I made. They're just hand-sewn chapbooks. Been running my own imprint for about 12 years, and I just publish works that I care about and I feel like I want to have, so I make them. And then they're available, and we can all have them. Having said that, I think doors are at 7 and the event starts at 7:30, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to read little bits from a couple of the books and then some new work, which is where my head is at. I think all our heads are in our new work, I hope. So this is from Trace Language, and the subtitle for me is really the heart of the work. The subtitle is A Shared Breath, and I really love Paul Celan. I love his writing. Your radiant curvature inwardly births this life, unearths the dream seeds darkening. This admission crystallizes nothing. No sign arises, though some trace binds the yes to the no. A song with which to atone, for the mark in this clotted heart asks, where else to run? The world drops away, I must carry you. At bottom, your silence blankets the shore, hands made clean in innocency. Gold ore from sand and silt, what washes over me. Through that sluice it has to go, for there gasps the words, a light. Twin suns, no horizon between them, a conflagration that bursts the world. Who speaks us within, upholds that we listen beyond the barrier, what streams ceaselessly reflected light. What unbroken line encloses us, compels us to wait for that wholly unknowable reply. Rest in your wounds, untraceable. Though the observer seek you, rest. There'll be no skin for their ceremony. How the vowel stone escapes those caught between parallel streams, as it lies beneath the waterline, lost to all carrying. Devoid of sight, you'll swim. Devoid of color, you'll pierce white rings of light sounding on air. Where die Muttersprache failed you, its arc can be rewritten, that its undertow amassed you, proximities realign. Arise, return through that golden flood, a halo. So there's 4 sections in Form of Forms. I'm going to read from a section called Quiescence. I know there are 4 because somebody reviewed the book, and in their review they talked about the 3 distinct sections of the work. Unnamed. Now named, now known. Evident within. That triad, itself a wish to search in response to early discord, fearfully prolonged this period. What you have searched is some aspect of self. Foster absence of feeling. a means for those who cannot touch her heartbeat, infants, intuition, skin on skin, secures the scent. In love with child, between you, a son or daughter, your only son or daughter, unexpressed. Intrusion enters us into decision. We search. In disbelief, who ceases to be a means? We hear of a willingness to share a child. Forced on her, surrender. Postpartum, that yearning to see him, could nothing abort. That constant need to know, did you give me up? This is some new writing from the Capilano Review. It's just 6 small modules, which I have titled Poems for Alice Notley, and it's from a longer work called Medium Point Blues, which hopefully will be my next book, if I can finish it. 1. Voice of Alice, voicing Anna Mendelssohn, no other, arising out of self, in mind, no mind, just write this want to read that, duet, jot down as book. 2. Eye of Now, where music abounds, entering in through frequency, sickness, no sickness at all. So push pen is soft sound, a footfall or doubling, said no place to rest the thud of truck traffic passing by. 3. Breath resounds. Amid constant sounds comes this how against no other. No home unwritten in, sight lost or forgotten. So much thought clots the unspoken, an old guide, less a land so named than green rock and shattered plinth, foretold by inner selves. 4. It breaks. In your hands, the long break comes cleanly, splays itself before you, some same sake is no name at all. The warm-up gropes for it, says nothing. Therein lies the voice of things, the itch that turning, softly sounded page. 5. Sound sight, a rose, itself an ear among others, reared on breath song, calls Schnell, Schnell. You go rattling out that canal of words work thieved, shuffled off pages, blackened under nails, earthwards, kin and loam. 6. The end of it. This hand pushes pen over paper, the clock that happened in his poems, happened in her poems, happened in these poems too. Inexorably this, feeling of coming in, of coming into a room where she sits down beside you, redresses herself. Let go of this, my this. You think. Alice turns to you and says so. This last chunk is from New work that I have called Gathas for the Evening Bell. Gathas like a stanza. It comes out of the Buddhist tradition, and the two books are Ocean Road and Knee Deep Snow, and I'm going to read from Ocean Road. There's an epigraph, unfortunately, off the top. Old monk inside me, sitting diligently, who am I before you were born? An ocean man lives under one roof. Before his gate, cars and bikes are common. The courtyard is quiet but partial to birds. The canals are narrow and are home to few fish. Without a son, he shops for food. With his darling, he walks the shore. What does he have at home? Shelves full of nothing but books. Whoever travels along Ocean Road takes a way that never ends. The rivers are few and filled with rocks. The streams are shallow and choked with trash. It's not the rain that makes the agave grow. It's not the wind that makes the palms moan. Whoever can push past the angles of the streets can sit with me at the edge of the world. My hermit's clothes are heavy. They fray over passing years as I pursue sound and image, seeking enlightenment in vain. The yard is cluttered and clouds have come. The hill is dark on this moonless night. Why don't I go home? The desert palms detain me. We live near Ocean Road, beach clothes and shoreside walks, withholding words we would share. But this life is difficult, burdened by regrets and doubts, middle-aged and unknown, called by some unreadable. We stand alone, resolute. And lastly, I seldom walk the noble path. I say I practice as I go astray. My mouth doesn't stop before Buddhas. I wallow in guilt and shame. In private, I eat meat and fish. In public, I chant Ma'um. If this is how I cultivate my practice, how will I deal with death? Thanks.